Hi, I'm Kirsten with Baby on Board, and the topic that I will be talking about is changes in your body while pregnant and noticeable ones. Um, the one that I want to talk about first is the urge to pee all the time. Um, of course, we all know because it's the water intake, but oh my goodness, you have to pee all the time. Your entire pregnancy, you just feel like you're sitting on the toilet the entire time. It's worse when they start to get a little bigger, or right before they get really big, because they feel like they're hugging your bladder, and it's like squeezing everything out of you. It's fun, very fun. Constantly hungry. Oh boy. I actually was really embarrassed my first trimester because I always thought that it was bad that I was so hungry because the baby wasn't that big yet, but I was really hungry the first trimester. The second trimester was still really hungry, but like the third trimester I stopped getting hungry. And I thought it was always because he was so big that he was like squishing my stomach, so I was never hungry. And there was times where I wanted to skip meals because I wasn't hungry, but I forced myself to eat a little bit anyway. And even if I was like really hungry, I couldn't eat a lot. And it was definitely a change after I had the baby that I could eat full meals again. But yeah, the third trimester was really bad for me that I couldn't eat because I just was never hungry. I had headaches a lot. I had a lot of headaches. I had a migraine for 7 days straight. That was my fault because of my one addiction, which was caffeine. I tried to quit it cold turkey, and it didn't work out very well for me. I didn't know that you could have caffeine while being pregnant, so I just stopped it. I just quit, and it gave me a migraine for 7 days straight. And even after that, I had a lot of headaches, but most of my headaches were just from just quitting caffeine, and it was the worst thing ever. And I didn't even have the full amount of caffeine that I was allowed to have. I would just have a little bit just to make sure I didn't give myself a migraine. I was very, very hormonal during my pregnancy. Very hormonal. I felt bad for my husband because I was always upset about something, or I was always like giggling and laughing, or I was always like sad, just like belligerently crying, and I couldn't even tell him why. I was very hormonal, and that stopped about the second trimester. I was actually normal, and then the third trimester is when it got bad. I was always mad. I was very irritable. I was always sad. Like, it was scary. The one that killed me the most was morning sickness. I had really bad morning sickness. That's actually how I found out I was pregnant. I got sick at work. I was a manager at Target, and I had to work at the Starbucks in the Target for a shift. And you have to grind and make new coffee every 30 minutes. And the smell of the coffee was unbearable. And you get it all on you, the grounds get all on you, they get all on your apron. So I was constantly smelling it, and I threw up, and someone saw. And I had to go talk to my boss, and they sent me home, and I put it on Facebook. I think I can still find the post where I was like, hey, I'm just not feeling good today. And there was like 20 comments of everyone just going, oh, you're pregnant. And I didn't believe them. And it was hilarious to me that all I said was I wasn't feeling well. And like over 20 people were just like, oh, you should go take a test, you're pregnant. Well, I was. And I had morning sickness up until, I want to say mid-second trimester. And then it went away. I want to say at like 27 weeks, I think it went away. right before third trimester, like right before, a few weeks before. And it came back bad at like 36 weeks. I was throwing up. I would wake up at like 3 or 4 every morning, and I would have to go throw up. And when I had morning sickness, the first 2 trimesters, it was just nauseous. I would never throw up, except that one time when I found out. But I would wake up every morning till even the day that I gave birth, I got up and I threw up. And I never understood why, but my morning sickness was really, really bad. Another topic that was very noticeable for me that was actually really terrifying was swelling. I would wake up and my hands, I couldn't feel them because they were so swollen that they were like numb, and I would have to literally like just massage my fingers and my hands out to know that they were still there. I couldn't wear my rings up until, I want to say, 4, maybe like a month after having the baby. That's how long it took my swelling to go down. My feet didn't really swell that much. They did. It was my hands. My hands were like little balloons. It was really scary for me because I'd never experienced that. I would wake up every morning and have to massage my hands out, starting like the beginning of the third trimester. And it was terrifying because I didn't know what was happening. And then my hands just got bigger and bigger, and I already have big hands, so it was scary. And I wasn't expecting it, I guess. And it was weird because most women that I knew said that their feet swole and my hands swole, and they were bad. It was bad. I didn't gain a lot of weight. I mean, I did. I was mostly baby. But I think I gained the normal amount. But you can definitely notice it. Because looking at my pictures, because I was all baby, I actually thought I wasn't gaining enough weight until I hit about 33 weeks is when I was actually noticeably pregnant. And after that, I really noticed the weight gain. But up until then, I didn't even look pregnant. I still fit in all my normal clothes. I was 8 months pregnant at work. And when I would tell people I was pregnant, they wouldn't believe me. And I was 8 months. And I would have like a little itty bitty pudge sometimes, depending on how I was standing. And people would be like, oh, you look like you're like 3-4 months pregnant. I'm like, no, I'm 8. 8 months pregnant. And it wasn't until about 9 months that I actually started to show. And it was very noticeable. It's like my belly just grew overnight. I found it hard to walk because he put a lot of pressure on my back because I carried more in my back and in my waist than I did up in the front. So he put a lot of pressure on my back, and I already have a pinched nerve, so it was hard for me to walk. It was hard for me to get around because there was so much pressure on my pelvis and on my back, but I never really had the waddle, and I was expecting it and I was waiting for it, and I never got it. I guess I was fortunate enough for that, but it was very hard for me to walk at one point where I actually fell down concrete stairs. I was a week from delivering. I didn't know this at the time, but I was 39 weeks pregnant, and I fell down concrete stairs because I guess how I was walking, and it pinched my nerves some more, and my legs just gave out on me, and I tumbled down some concrete stairs. I had like cuts and bruises all over my legs because I landed on my legs and then I rolled over to my back. So it never even touched my stomach, but it was still very scary. And after that, I was never put on bed rest, but I kind of put myself on bed rest. And I didn't move around a whole lot because it was hard for me too. One that's a little gross is discharge. I got a lot of discharge, a lot of it. And at first I thought there was something wrong with me because I've never experienced vaginal discharge before. And it was like every time I went to the bathroom, I would have to change underwear because of the discharge. that there was. It wasn't a lot, but it was still enough to make my underwear look white. And that was more than I'd ever seen before, so it was still a little freaky to me. My mother-in-law noticed it. I never really did. They always tell you have the pregnancy glow. I never really knew what that was. But my mother-in-law said I had the pregnancy glow. It's when your skin is really fair and it's pretty. It just, I see it a lot. But apparently your skin looks really clear and bright, and apparently I had that. I've heard of it, but I never saw it in myself, I guess. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, when you sneeze and when you cough, you tinkle a little. That was fun. I had that a lot. Yeah, I think right after I found out I was having a boy, I started sneezing and coughing, and I would pee a lot. It's totally okay to wear a little pad. You know, I didn't because I was stupid, because I didn't do it every time. I could laugh, sneeze, and cough, and it would like depend on when my body wanted to do it. And then about 38 weeks, I could just be sitting there and I would pee a little. If I moved wrong, if I shifted wrong, coughed, sneezed, anything. I don't do it as much now, but I still kind of do it sometimes. But yeah, it's really fun. I had a kind of rough pregnancy with the morning sickness, and I know some people experience worse with like preeclampsia and everything, but I think I'm very fortunate to have just the little symptoms that I had, because I know there's a lot worse. I did break out a couple of times with acne, not a lot, but I did notice it. I actually had, when I went back to work, I noticed a couple pimples, and my friend was like, "Oh, pregnancy pimples." I'd never heard of that, but I guess it's a thing. And I only had it like once or twice. I had it in the first trimester and I had it in the third trimester. For me, the second trimester was the easiest. With the first trimester, because of my morning sickness, I was really lethargic. I didn't really want to do anything. Plus, I had the migraine because I tried to quit cold turkey for that whole week. I didn't want to do anything. And the whole first trimester, I didn't feel like anything. I didn't want to do anything. In the third trimester, because he had so much... My son was really, really low. He was already head down when we did the gender reveal. So he was already really low. And they were actually surprised that he waited until 40 weeks to come because he was so low. So because he was so low and he was sitting in my pelvis at such an early time, I always had back pain. Pelvic pain was the worst, especially when he was dropping. Leg pain. Anything with my back to my lowers, everything hurt. My feet, my legs. I would go on short little walks and my feet would start to hurt. And like I said, they never really swole, but they hurt if I walked. And then I said it hurt because it put a lot of pressure on my back. It was just, it was a fun time. But the second trimester, you feel really energized. You feel like you can do anything. Like you feel great. So all I want to say is no matter how rough your pregnancy is, enjoy it. Trust me, I was really, I don't want to say disappointed, but I thought I had a really rough pregnancy. And like I see my friends going through worse, but even though I talk about how bad it was, I want to talk about the good too. You know, I was told that I couldn't get pregnant, and then I got pregnant. So all I have to say is enjoy every bit of your pregnancy, because every pregnancy is different. I'm a first-time mom, but I hear stories all the time that every pregnancy is different. You can have morning sickness, you can not have morning sickness, you can be like my mom and have your period the entire time you're pregnant. You cannot have a period. You know, every pregnancy is different. And all I have to say is just enjoy your pregnancy, because such a good little miracle blessing, tiny little itty bitty cuddle ball is given to you, that you created, that you made, that is going to be by your side forever, is going to be your best friend forever. So enjoy every second of your pregnancy, no matter how miserable it is. Always look on the bright side. That's what I had to do. When I couldn't walk, when I fell down the stairs, well, he doesn't want me to walk. He wants me to relax and feel and move, and that's what I thought. You know, he just wants me to relax and feel him all day long. He doesn't want me to move around, because every time I moved around, he would move. If I was like sitting down or laying down, he would move. He wants to move around today. So, you know, just look at the bright side of it. And it only lasts about a year. So, I would do it again any day of the year. Any time. If anyone was like, hey, do you want to relive your pregnancy? Yes. Do you want to have another pregnancy and it be worse than the one you just had? Yes. So enjoy every second of your pregnancy, and I hope you enjoyed my little chat, my little visit with you, and have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.